The president is set to outline his gun control plan today. Meanwhile, gun owners are sounding the alarm. Coming up, a look inside the president's controversial executive orders.
And the big chill is on thin ice, or should we say thin snow. Why Racine city officials are postponing the big winter festival and ice sculpting competition.
All right, we're taking a live look at those DOT cameras. Watch for slick spots out on those roadways. All of the latest on your Tuesday morning drive. The CBS 58 Morning News starts right now.
You're watching the CBS 58 Morning News with Jessica Ty, Kate Chappell, weather with Lance Hill, and traffic with Andy Bravelli.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It is Tuesday, January 5th. I'm Jessica Ty.
And I'm Kate Chappell. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment. First, it's chilly out there.
It is cold again.
Very cold, but it's January, so let's get you straight to the forecast. Here's meteorologist Michael Schlesinger. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How cold is it?
Freezing.
Freezing. Actually, it's below freezing. Temperatures around 20 degrees, technically speaking. It is freezing, though. The winds, luckily, not too much of an issue, but it is adding a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a chill to the air this morning. Your actual air temperature is 20 in Milwaukee, one of the warmer spots stateside. Actually, Superior's warmer, 22. That's a switch. 19 in Madison, 10 in Green Bay, 12 around the Dells. With the wind, this is how it feels. It feels like 9 in Milwaukee, 0 Rhinelander, 2 around the Dells, 6 around La Crosse along the Mississippi River. Again, these numbers coming up today and the temperatures as well, keeping the clouds away. This is nice. We have high pressure, plenty of sunshine, and that will help boost temperatures to more seasonable levels, plus those southwesterly winds taking over. So this is the deal today. 27 by noon, around 30 late in the day, fair conditions. Don't get used to this nice weather. We have a lot of changes in store into the weekend. We're going to see a lot milder weather set up, but there's a price to pay. It's going to get wetter and warmer, and eventually old man winter really shows up next week. Full speed ahead. Cold blast coming our way starting Sunday. Wait till you see these numbers. It's a cold reality. I'll go over those numbers coming up in just a little bit, ladies. Back to you.
President Obama will unveil new executive actions this morning to try to cut down on gun violence.
The measures outlined in a conference call with senior administration officials yesterday include controversial plans focusing on so-called background check loopholes. Brian Webb has the latest from New York.
President Obama delivers remarks at the White House this morning outlining plans he intends to take to tackle gun violence without congressional approval. At the top of the list, a measure requiring gun dealers, including those who sell firearms on the internet or at gun shows, to be licensed and conduct background checks. Another would change a federal privacy rule to keep people with mental health restrictions from possessing guns.
This is not going to solve every violent crime in this country. It's not going to prevent every mass shooting. It will potentially save lives.
The actions aren't sitting well with gun store owners like James Hillen in Houston. He says the president is infringing on the Second Amendment.
Hitler, Stalin, all these great leaders at one time have taken guns away so they can start controlling the populace, and that's what this is all about.
Some gun safety advocates disagree.
I don't think our founding fathers ever meant that should mean that suspected terrorists can get their hands on guns.
Republicans in Congress are already threatening to take up the matter with the Supreme Court. The White House maintains the measures would withstand any legal challenge. Brian Webb for CBS News.
President Obama also wants to hire more than 230 additional FBI employees to help process background checks. As part of his push this week, he'll hold a town hall discussion on gun violence on Thursday.
We continue to follow a developing story out of Kenosha. The victim of a shooting last night tried to drive himself to a hospital, but ended up crashing into a tree. Police say that man crashed just before 7:30 last night on 65th Street near 8th Avenue. That's just a block from United Hospital. He was flown to Froedtert Hospital, though, because of his injuries from the crash. No word yet on what led up to that shooting.
Search teams will return to Mill Lake in Walworth County today, looking for a missing Illinois man. Divers have already pulled the bodies of 3 of his friends from the freezing water. Authorities will resume the search at 7:30 this morning using sonar technology.
A former West Allis police officer charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse will be in Kenosha County Court today for his final pretrial hearing.
This is the last chance for Stephen Zelich to accept a deal before trial. He's charged with homicide for his role in the death of 19-year-old Jenny Gomez. CBS 58's Kyle Aberman is live outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse with a preview of today's proceedings. Kyle?
Good morning. Yeah, this is a case that has seen delay after delay, and today will likely be the final time he appears in court before jury selection begins. Stephen Zelich is accused of killing 2 women before stuffing their bodies into suitcases and leaving them along a rural Woolworth County road. Zelich told investigators he accidentally killed the woman during a sexual choking game back in 2013. Now, one of those victims was 19-year-old Jenny Gomez of Oregon. The other was 37-year-old Laura Simonson of Minnesota. Investigators believe he killed Simonson in Minnesota, and in November, just 2 months ago, he was charged with her murder in that state. That is something the judge here will allow jurors to hear about when it does go to trial here. Zelich is expected to be in the courtroom around 10:30 this morning. We are live in Kenosha. Kyle Aberman, CBS 58 News.
Thank you for that up-to-date, Kyle. By the way, I talked with a source of mine last night who was very close to this case. He does not expect any more delays, doesn't expect Zelich to take a deal either. He expects this case to go to trial as scheduled later this month.
One of Wisconsin's most prominent prosecutors is stepping down. Sheboygan County District Attorney Joe DeSecco announced he will not run for re-election in November after 14 years in the post. In a letter announcing his retirement, DeSecco said his only regret was his inability to address a shortage of prosecutors working for the state. DeSecco has been part of several high-profile Wisconsin court cases, including the 2012 legal troubles of then Sheboygan Mayor Bob Ryan.
AMF Bolero in Wauwatosa will be open as usual today after a gas smell forced an emergency evacuation last night. Authorities with We Energies tell CBS 58 snow and ice are to blame for damaging the ventilation system and causing a fuel line leak in the bowling alley. Crews shut off that line. No injuries or illnesses reported because of this. The bowling alley resumed operations shortly after that evacuation. And in Kenosha, a snowplow is being blamed for a gas leak outside of an auto body shop. Happened last night in the 6800 block of 29th Avenue. The Kenosha Fire Department says the blow hit a gas line. The exterior leak was camped quickly. No one was hurt.
The Big Chill Festival in Racine won't happen this weekend because it won't be cold enough. The CBS 58 forecast team predicting temps above freezing Friday and Saturday. Cold weather is necessary because the Big Chill's main event is a snow sculpting championship. Officials have decided to postpone the annual event until next weekend. None of the snow already on the ground can be used, so they have to ship snow in.
The snow that's here at this point has been contaminated, so there's a tremendous amount of salt in it already. So this won't be used at all. We'll clean this off and have a fresh, clean pallet to work for lack of a better word. It takes about a 5-yard dump truck for every snow sculpture that we create.
That's a lot of snow. Organizers are planning on 14 sculptures, so that translates to about 70 tons of snow. Wow. Once again, the Big Chill at Monument Square in Racine is now happening next weekend, January 15th through the 17th.
Man, I hope the teams didn't have plans for next weekend because they get really competitive about this. Sure. Typically a 3-man team that's out there, and I mean, some of these are just spectacular. That one like right there really cool too.
Some of the snow festivals like this, or ice festivals I've been to in the past, they actually bring in sculptors from all around the country. Is that true with this one too?
Well, this one does have sculptors from around the region because ultimately they're going for the Wisconsin State Snow Sculpting Championship with this one, and then after that you can move on.
I met somebody, a snow sculptor from Texas. One time.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that bizarre?
How did that happen?
But it's because he does ice sculptures for like weddings and stuff like that.
Oh.
You know, so he has to work in a freezer though, because obviously the temperatures aren't cold enough outside. But how bizarre?
Yeah.
And of course everything's big in Texas, right?
Yeah, big sculptures, big ice.
All right, Big Chill coming, not really this week, but next week. Big warm up first, and then we get the chill. So let's go over all the sordid details right now. Commuter forecast, the next 24 hours. So we're going to start out this morning in the 20s. There's frost, allow some extra time to do some scraping. 30 on the way home, 27 tomorrow morning as you head out the door. More frost, and then eventually rain coming. High pressure in place. We're getting on the backside. Winds turning to the south and west, warming us up. And then eventually a storm system coming in from the west that will impact the forecast, I think, Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday. Looking at the Marquette interchange, traffic free flowing, no problems. We like it. 20 Humidity about 80%. Southwesterly winds close to 10 miles an hour. Dew point numbers very low. The air is dry. 16 is the temp in Waukesha, 11 in Sheboygan, 19 Madison, 21 Janesville, 4 in Burlington. Always one of the colder spots, especially with the snowpack too. 19 Kenosha, 17 in Beaver Dam. Winds in from the south, southwest, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, bringing the chills down a little bit, not drastically though. Feels like 10, West Bend 1, a lonely number in Sheboygan, 12 Janesville, high Madison 8. That's my favorite number, but not when it comes to temperatures. That's how it feels there. 8 in Kenosha as well, 9 Milwaukee and Racine. All right, clouds and precipitation and motion. Pretty quiet here as we go through time today. Tomorrow, the clouds start to really take over into tomorrow night, and then we get a wintry mix setting up, especially north and west of the metro, pre-dawn hours. I think more of us will see some light wintry mix during the morning and then over to rain as we go into the afternoon of your Thursday and keep rain going into Friday and then back over to a mix just in time for the weekend. 32 the expected high, plenty of sun, seasonable. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15. Mid-20s tonight, more frost to talk about. Again, southwesterly winds a prevalent component here, 10 to 15 into tomorrow. Highs around 40, increasing clouds even milder. Normal highs should be 29, 39 Wednesday, 38 Thursday, 41 Friday. Mixed to rain Thursday, rain to mix Friday. The opposite situation. And then some light mixed over to snow showers. I'm thinking Saturday during the day. Hopefully nothing major. Mid-30s. That's it. That's going to seem warm come Sunday and Monday. Look at the mid to upper teens there. Overnight lows generally in the single digits. And again, I invite everybody to download the free CBS 58 Weather mobile app to keep track of all the weather changes. You almost need a law degree, Andy Ravelli. So how are the roads? Pretty quiet there?
Yes, they are pretty quiet, Michael. Good morning, everyone. Still incident-free, no accidents or any disabled vehicles. Let's get another look at those DOT cameras. As I mentioned earlier, your drive from the south may be a little slick out there, so you just want to maybe plan on a few extra minutes. I-43-94 right around National Avenue, right around the Marquette interchange. As Michael showed on his weather cameras, no sign of any slowdowns along that stretch. Definitely more cars out on the roadways in both the north and southbound direction. Making our way over to the traffic map, the main loop looking A-OK. A little bit of slowing in the northbound direction of I-43 as you make your way towards the Marquette interchange, but everything does clear up once you clear right around Wisconsin Avenue, the downtown stretch. Now let's get a quick look. Construction pretty much on hold throughout most of the winter months, but work continues on the Zoo Interchange construction project. Because of that, for the rest of the week, you're going to be dealing with an overnight bridge demolition. This is going to be the I-94 eastbound bridge that is over the 84th Street corridor from O'Connor to Kearney Street along in the West Allis stretch. So during the overnight hours only, you're going to just want to plan for a detour, maybe to take 92nd Street over the newly reopened 92nd Street bridge. But once again, this bridge demolition is set to take place overnight hours for the rest of the week. Those closures, 84th Street itself will reopen every morning right around 5 a.m. Another reminder to download our CBS 58 weather and traffic app. As Michael mentioned, you have weather updates plus traffic updates. Definitely during the winter months, that's when it's going to come in handy the most. A quick look at those drive times still shows well into the green, 13 minutes and under throughout the entire system. We'll toss it back over to you.
Thanks, Andy. A New Year's Eve accident puts ride-sharing service Uber in the hot seat.
Hear why one passenger is furious about her ride. You'll be shocked at what happened.
And if getting a new job is on your agenda this year, there's good news for one Wisconsin city that made it in the top 10 of a national list.
And you're now just minutes away from meeting our pet of the week. Riley really wants a new home. We'll learn more about this pup next.